Hey everybody, how we doing? All right, so people are coming in.
All right.
Redo this live situation.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hey,
Good afternoon, everyone. Where's our intro music, Corey?
I'm gonna get it here in a second, man. We'll get the show ready, guy. Let's talk. Say hello. How are we doing? Is everybody fine? Are we living good?
Let's see.
A couple more people get in there. We have 5, 6. We're hopping up.
Yep. Is it linked to Facebook? All right.
It's doing it as we speak. Hopefully that worked. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Cool. All right.
Here we go. Ready? Let's get it started, people. Hey, how we doing, everybody? How we doing? We are living the 9. It's myself. We have Coach Natalie, Coach Ethan, and we have a very, very, very special guest today. He's a hometown guy, PGA Tour player, Bo Hoag.
hey guys.
How we doing, Bo? We good?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me on.
Oh, man, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
So you are a new friend. Today's core value is about honesty and friendship. You're a new friend to us. In a sense, we've met before at Scioto. You actually met one of our participants, which was very, very cool to take time out of your practice session to say what's up to him. So I really appreciate that as well.
Sure.
So from that action and this action, it seemed like you're just a stand-up guy, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but try to do my best.
All right, Bo. So we have a couple questions for you, man, that we've been wondering, and some of the participants have been wondering too. Go ahead and hit him with that.
First one is a real hardball for you, Bo. Who was your favorite golfer growing up?
I kind of started watching golf in the '90s, so I liked Freddie Couples going to the Memorial and watching.
Yeah.
Kind of had that cool factor and the long swing, and he hit it far. So I kind of liked following him around Muirfield when I was a kid.
And he's really cool, man. I never met him before, but just the way he walks, like he's just a cool dude in school. Like he's the one everybody wanted to be around and kick it with, man. He's
Kind of a endearing guy. Just seemed like he's the kind of guy you'd want to play with. If you were, in the last group on Sunday, he'd kind of be like a relaxing guy to, be paired with. I feel like.
Have you got a chance to meet him?
I met him once. I don't know him well, but it was cool to meet the guy that I've been watching as a kid.
Awesome. Yeah, he seems super laid back.
Yeah, just heck of a player.
Oh yeah, I love the swing. What else you got, Ethan?
What age do you start playing golf there, Bo?
I don't know exactly. I guess it's kind of a gradual progression of maybe getting a club in your hands to the first couple shots you hit with a plastic ball in the yard. But maybe my first trip to the range, maybe 5, 6, 7 years old, and then maybe my first couple 9-hole rounds, maybe 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
8 or 9 years old. There you go.
Let's say, what are your other favorite sports or hobbies outside of golf?
Well, I went to Ohio State, and I've always been an Ohio State fan, being from Columbus. So
you have to, right?
Ohio State football, Ohio State basketball, really all the sports. But enjoy watching those. I played some baseball growing up, and it was kind of had to make a little bit of a choice, which sport I wanted to keep going with in high school and in college. But those were my 2 best sports.
Nice.
I have a question for you, Bo. It's something I'm just curious about the mindset. So you know how Ohio State and Michigan, they have that rivalry. Is there really can you really have a rival in golf on the PGA Tour?
I think so. I mean, I think that there's some rivalries, especially at the top.
Yeah.
You know, when guys are kind of duking it out, you know, it means a lot to become number one in the world. I know it does to, you know, say Rory or Dustin Johnson. You know, those guys are definitely have a little rivalry going. I think at the top there to kind of see who's going to take that number one spot.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
But we do also on the college front. You know, we kind of, especially in the fall with the wraparound schedule. You know, you start getting some college football Saturdays, and you might, you know, talk a little smack to some guys from some other colleges before and after the rounds.
I love it.
Yeah.
Smack talk. That's my thing. That's my jam.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Corey does it in the office on a daily basis, and there's not even a competition or anything happening.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's very accurate. I talk trash even in passing. So
yeah, it's an art.
There's no competition involved. I'm just talking trash. So yeah, I can relate to that 100%.
Real quick, if anyone watching has any questions for Bo, please type in, and we will try to get them on here. Please and thank you. So, Bo, here's a famous question. Most golfers, your dream foursome could be anybody in golf or outside of golf. Your dream foursome.
Now, can we add living, you know, alive, dead or alive to that, or just a living?
Either or.
Anybody?
That's a good one. That's always a tough one. I feel like I've answered it in a lot of different ways over the years when I've been asked. But I mean, I think it'd be, you know, hard to go wrong with maybe Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and I'll throw Tiger Woods in there. I think that'd be a good little game.
That'd be a great one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun one, man.
I bet there's some stories.
A lot of
that
pressure,
group, right?
Yeah.
Pressure in that foursome, man. That's jeez.
Yeah, you'd have to bring your game.
Yeah, don't have bad shots with those guys.
So, Bo, what would you say the coolest or I guess maybe most scenic or best course that you've played being able to be out on the tour so far?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones. I mean, just the cool thing is that every week, you know, that whatever tournament you're at, that course is, you know, peaking at that week for their course condition and their setup. And so you're going to get that courses, you know, their best that they have for 1 week a year. So all the places are really pretty awesome. But, you know, played the AT&T at Pebble Beach
Nice.
Pro-Am this spring. And, you know, Pebble Beach, for anybody that's been there, it's pretty hard to beat. Some really cool holes on the ocean, and just you know, a lot of history with the tournament. I mean, that thing's been going on since, you know, the 50s and 60s, and that one's as far as just a cool place to play a tour event. That's pretty hard to beat.
We've got a couple questions getting submitted here. First one that came through said, how hard has it been to practice or play during the PGA Tour stoppage?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed all the players' preparation. You know, a lot of the courses are closing. I know, you know, the courses that I've been playing at are basically closed.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, even the guys that have courses that are open, I mean, I don't think that they're going necessarily out there like they were if it was as normal. I mean, there's, you know, trying to practice this social distancing and, you know, just trying to kind of be careful, you know, and I know some of the courses are, you know, the carts are gone, you can walk, you know, which is a good thing. And for me, you know, I just been, just kind of been laying low. You know, I've been hitting some putts in my place. I got this cool new putting mat. I think it's called the Perfect Putting Mat.
Yeah, hey, that's hard.
Yeah,
that is hard, man.
Yeah, the first couple of times
very,
I wasn't
difficult.
so good at it, but
oh my goodness.
Yeah, been doing that and trying to you know, get some swings in the mirror and you know, just trying to get a little workout in. I actually have like a shag bag with, you know, 100 balls in it or so, and I've been kind of using that as my kettlebell just to get a little something in, just to kind of make sure I'm in reasonable shape whenever we return.
All right, a couple other ones. Let's do a serious one. Best advice you'd give for a high school golfer?
Yeah, I mean, high school golf, a lot of it, for a team success, I think is kind of for the players to kind of eliminate those double bogeys and triples and others. If you can kind of get your high school team around, if you have your teammates be making bogeys on their bad holes, I think that's kind of the important thing. I know if you want to be a successful high school player and team. So maybe from a course management standpoint, kind of really, in an extra sense, take your medicine on a hole where, maybe you have a really tough chip that you're short-sighted. Just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to chip this thing out to 20 feet. That might be a good shot. Maybe I'll rely on my putter to make that 20-footer rather than try to hit a little more of a hero shot where I could bring a double into play. If I leave it short, if I dump it in the bunker on the chip shot, and then I bring a double into play. So I think that they're kind of taking that medicine and playing smart, especially when the team's involved. All this, some difference.
So let me ask you a question, man. How hard is it, especially when you're on tour and you're playing against these great guys? Is it hard to is it really hard to play smarter, like, and not go for it all the time? You know what I mean? Not to push.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, for me, I still try to just play the golf course. I think that's the big thing. You kind of just because it's the PGA Tour, the game doesn't change.
Okay.
You're still trying to, return the lowest 18-hole score or 72-hole score you can. I guess the only situation where that might not, you might change your strategy a little bit is if, you're out, let's say you're on back nine on Sunday and all of a sudden, maybe you have a two-shot lead. You might have to play a little more accordingly, or maybe you're two back with four to play, and then you gotta maybe take a chance to give yourself that shot of at least putting pressure on the guy that's in the lead. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So you have a question?
All right, we got a couple other ones. Yeah, we got a couple. I'll just pick a random one. What's the best, or who is the best player you've ever gone up against?
Well, it's hard to argue, but when I was at Ohio State, we had our alumni match every spring, and I know that Jack Nicklaus played in a few of them, so I'm gonna have to start with him.
Oh,
there you go.
Being pretty good resume. But there's so many good players on the PGA Tour. I mean, just about every guy is uber talented. Just even guys that you might not, necessarily think of maybe as a power player, but I played with Grant Snedeker in the fall and at the Shriners in Vegas on Saturday, and he's just to see the way he plays. He's such a good putter and just a great set of hands, such a good chipper. Just played in a bunch of Ryder Cups, President's Cups, been there in majors, and all that good stuff. So it's cool to just see, how different guys do it, but all end up, shooting the same low score.
So I have another question as well. So do you think the sport itself, the game of golf, is better when there's a dominant figure, when somebody's out there and forcing everybody to be better, they're winning a lot, or do you like it when week to week it's a toss up? There's different people in top 10 and top 5.
Yeah, that's a good question. For a while there, we had Tiger, in the late 90s and early 2000s, and he just seemed to be kind of on another level, especially when he was playing good. Nobody could beat him. So that's one end of the spectrum. And, whether he likes it or not, I think he really raised the bar. And now you're seeing kind of the generation that watched him out on tour, and they watched him and how strong he was on the course. I don't think that there's that necessarily that intimidation factor, that fear factor anymore. And now I think it's very, it'd be really hard to dominate, and be a number one for a long time. I think you see these guys kind of go on runs, whether it's Rory, or Dustin or Brooks, they kind of get on a little run, but I think it'd be really tough to kind of be the dominant guy for more than a year.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right. By him being a dominant figure for so long, he showed you how to be dominant. And if everybody knows how to be dominant, then you won't have one person being dominant anymore. So I get that.
Yeah.
You got any more questions for him?
So we got one here from our web chat. Kind of a silly question. We did this question the other week. Say you have to leave one club in the car for a round of golf, but what club would you leave in the vehicle?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that.
What were the options we had that we offered?
You had to leave either your putter. You had to either leave your putter, sand wedge, or driver.
Yeah.
So out of those three, what would you pick?
Putter, sand wedge, or driver. I'd probably leave my sand wedge just because I carry a couple others, and I feel like I could make a pitching wedge work or a gap wedge work. I definitely want to keep that driver in your hands, make the course as short as you can.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true pro.
I know. I chose to leave the driver, but that makes sense.
Maybe if you had a 3-wood you really loved, like Henrik Stenson, he might be saying, "I'm leaving the driver." He hardly even hits it when he has it in the back. So
yeah.
But yeah.
I have a favorite question from 2-iron, man.
The stinger. Bo, we got another question from our chat here. Would you rather play a round of golf at Augusta with your friends or a round of golf at Augusta with Tiger?
I'm gonna go with my friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll be able to live that one down.
I think it'd be fun just to kind of just chat with them a little bit about shots we'd seen over the years and stuff, and things where famous shots had taken place at Augusta. I think it'd be kind of cool.
I think that'd be awesome, man. Sharing that experience with your friends, that's something that'd be fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Tiger can play at any time, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, so real quick, Bo, you don't have to get too in-depth with it, but could you explain for our young audience just exactly how hard it is and how hard you have to work to be on the PGA Tour? Because I know we have a lot of young students that have high goals and aspirations. That's what we want, but I don't think they quite understand just how hard you all have to work to get out there, and then be able to stay out there.
Yeah. For me, I know it's been a process of having to kind of pay my dues at different levels. Going from being a high school golfer to a college golfer, and then playing some mini tours right out of college, and eventually getting on the Korn Ferry Tour, and being able to earn my PGA Tour card from there. So for me, it's kind of been a stepping stone to stepping stone. But it's not easy. That's why there's only 100, 150 guys doing it every week. But I think one of the big things is not to get discouraged just because you might not have success in the now. I know right when I got out of college, I played in Q school later that fall, and I struggled that year and a couple of years after that in Q school. It's just such a hard tournament, and I think if I had to go back and give myself some advice during those those hard times, where you don't get through Q school, I just say just because you didn't get through Q school, or just because you didn't maybe achieve a result in a junior tournament or a high school tournament, doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just a process and that's gonna, usually in golf, that's kind of part of the process is failing at trying to achieve something before you can actually do it and learn from that maybe that result that you were hoping for to apply for the next time.
It's a very good life lesson, man. Like, things get tough all the time, and there's a lot of lessons learned in the fire. You know what I mean? There's so many lessons you can learn from failure.
Yeah.
You want to succeed all the time, and you don't know how to lose. That's when things get ugly. So.
Yeah, I mean, just looking back on it now, I mean, just being at some of those, tough mini tour events or Q schools, where I'm just asking myself, man, I'm so far from what I think I need to be on the PGA Tour. I just and it's never it was never as far off as I probably thought at the time. But you just kind of have to keep believing and learn from it, and just try to make sure you keep improving somehow. If you do that each year, then nothing's ever going to stop you.
I love that, man. I love that. So, hey, we just got Facebook Live going. So, people from Facebook, welcome.
Hey.
It took a while, but we're there. We're in there. With us, we have, again, PGA Tour player Bo Hoag, and we're into some more questions. Do you have anything else, E?
Yes. What would you say is the biggest misconception about being a professional golfer on the PGA Tour, Bo?
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's pretty awesome to play on the PGA Tour, but there's definitely a few things. You might turn on the TV and see guys duking it out on Sunday and having fun on the back nine, trying to win the tournament. But there's a lot of little things that kind of are difficult to keep going every week. You gotta. You might finish. It's such a long week. You get to a tournament maybe on Monday, and then playing practice rounds at pro-ams on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you're trying to compete at the highest level in the world Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I mean, by Sunday evening, you're a little drained, especially if you're up there in contention. It just takes a lot out of you, and then a lot of times you have to get right back at it. You're either traveling Sunday night or Monday to the next event, and you got to be fresh and ready to do it all over again, and be strong enough to not get frustrated by anything, or and maintain staying in good shape so you're not fatigued. I think that's kind of the big thing that people don't see, is just that keeping that competitiveness week to week to week for a number of weeks in a row.
Yeah, I can see that. So, hey, is it true? I read this somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not. Is it true that on your very first victory that Jack actually called you?
Yeah, that was
How was that, man? How was that phone call, man?
It was pretty cool. So in last year on the Korn Ferry Tour, I'd been playing well the whole year. You have to get in the top 25 in order to get on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So January to August, through August, and I'd been playing well. I just hadn't had that great week. I had a ton of top 25s, top 15. Just kind of played tough for 4 days, and I just was getting some good amount of points from each event, but not getting that one where you can really solidify your tour card. And I just feel like we got to the last event of the year. It was in Portland, Oregon, and I was just like, all right, come on, man. You kind of owe this to yourself. You've been playing solid the whole year. You've made just about every single cut. You've come too far not to get something out of this. And sure enough, it just all clicked that week, and was able to win in Portland and get my card that same day. When I came from outside the top 25. I was 31st entering the week, and then the win bumped me up to 7. And about 20 minutes after I finished, I was in the operations truck, I think signing some flags for the Pumpkin Ridge, the course we played there, and got a call on my phone from Jack and Barbara Nicholas congratulating me, and just that, saying how thrilled they were that I was going to be on the PGA Tour, and that they were excited to, follow me out there.
So is that your first time ever getting a phone call from them or even talking to them?
I've known him a little bit, just from being a Columbus guy in Ohio State, and a little bit of a family connection there with my grandpa. So I have known them, and they've known what I've been trying to do. But I think that they they knew the magnitude of that, because they know that I put in a lot of hard work and time to get to the tour, and it was cool to share that with them right there in that moment.
When I read that, I was like, man, does his power reaches into the cell phone? Like, if he got this dude's number, how is he just all of a sudden calling him out the blue? Like,
yeah,
he's a magician.
Yeah,
got connections.
Yeah,
that's really cool, man. I bet that was a very special phone call, man. I'm very happy for you for that.
Yeah, it was. I have Jack's cell phone number in my contacts, but that day though, it came in as a 561 number, which is West Palm Beach, and I'm like, man, who could be calling me from West Palm Beach? And sure enough, answered. I think that he and Barbara were calling me from their house phone. So
oof.
Yeah, it was
cool.
That's crazy. That's absolutely cool. So, and also, is there a streak? Is it a 4-cut streak so far? 4 cuts made?
Oh boy, it's been I feel like such a long time since I've played. I've had a pretty good run on cuts this year, I think.
Yeah.
I know I had a good from the carryover from the wrap round. I think I was 9 in a row, which was good. So, and then we just kind of got put on hold here for a little while. But it's been a solid first campaign on tour. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating, man, to have like 9 cuts made, like you're trending up, and all of a sudden something like this happens, and like it's almost like starting back at scratch, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, just trying to look at it in a positive way. There's I'm fortunate that your first year on tour, you don't necessarily get the luxury of guaranteeing every single start on tour. You kind of get that more. If you keep playing out there for a while, returning members kind of get a little better priority on getting into tournaments. But as a rookie, if you play well, early on in the season, then you can kind of get in that same good priority for getting into events. So good news is that I've played well enough to where I feel like when we do return, I'm going to be in good shape to get into most of the events.
There we go, and hopefully we'll be seeing you at the Memorial.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll be there. Just I guess a matter of when it happens. I'm confident they'll play that this year at some point.
They will, and also I want everybody to know that Bo donated a whole bunch of merchandise to the first tee as well. We gave a lot of our hats away to kids. He had tailor-made hats. He had some gloves, like so much stuff. We thank you for that. So again, stand-up guy, man. That's absolutely awesome. Some of these hats have like tags and stuff on, like brand new hats. I'm just saying.
It's funny. I mean, we get. I mean, it's like you get so many of them. I mean, sometimes it's overkill. You get to a tournament and you're getting 5 new hats. It's like in your locker. I'm like, well, I got 3 hats that I didn't even wear last week, and I brought it with me. I mean, this is overkill. So I think my wife was okay with clearing out some of the cargo that we had in storage.
Very generous, man. Very, very
2-way street.
Yeah.
So what clubs are you playing now?
I'm on staff with Mizuno, actually.
Nice.
I played last year. I actually played the Mizuno irons while I wasn't obligated to. I just think they make such a good product, and this year it was just really just a pretty easy transition because I was already playing the clubs and I could still play a lot of the other clubs I was already playing. So it's nice to be on staff with such a cool company.
Yeah, I really enjoy Mizuno. I have Mizuno irons as well.
Nice.
I think they make a superior product. I just do.
There's what their tagline is. Nothing feels like a Mizuno. I think it's pretty true.
Yeah. How we doing? We got more questions anywhere? Favorite public course in ooh, that's a good one. Favorite public course in Columbus. Fingers crossed, Blacklit. Come on, fingers crossed.
That's a good one.
Hey.
Gotta think about that for a second. I don't know if it counts, but it's maybe a little. I think you kind of call it Central Ohio area, but I think it's called. At the time I was playing, it was called Granville, but I think they're calling it Denison.
Yeah,
now.
Denison. Yeah.
That's a cool little course. I
Mhm.
liked going up there and playing that. It was an old Donald Ross, small little greens, kind of tree lined. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing that course up there. But there's a lot of good ones in Central Ohio.
And I love going to the to Denison. One, because it's a great course, and two, there's a Wits in Grandsville, and Wits is probably the favorite dessert.
There you go. Yeah.
You know Wits?
Yeah, I know Wits. Yeah,
Respect. Wits.
You play for a custard for 18 holes against somebody else.
No.
Loser buys.
Ooh.
There you go.
There you go. We might have to make that happen when you get some free time. Me, you, and Ethan. Yeah. So losers for the buy cluster. There you go. Okay.
All right, guys. We got some games or things to play. Get the audience involved.
Let's do it.
What do you think, Annie?
Live the 9 first.
Yeah, Live the 9 story time. So, Bo, this is a part of our podcast to where we talk about our core value, and then a little bit of our personal experience with it. It's between the core value and the actual healthy habit. And Ethan and Natalie's going to take care of a healthy habit of friends, and then you and I will talk a little bit about the core value honesty. Is that okay?
Cool.
Perfect.
Yep.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead, Natalie.
Okay, so mine is friendship. I don't really have a specific story. I just wanted to talk a little more about how important friends are throughout your life, and that you have friends from all different places. I went through my phone, my text messages, to see the most recent people I talked to, and there's people from my childhood, people from high school, people from college, and people from my gym, and they're all very important to me. They might not even know each other, but the friendships that I have with all of them has been a different role in my life and still is important to me. So I just wanted to talk to the kids to say, you don't have to just have your friends at school or your friends on your sports teams that might be away from your school. You can blend your friends together. There's important values you learn from each one of your groups, and there's something that carries with you. I have a friend, one of my best friends, that I've known since we were born. Our parents were best friends, and we still talk. We lived together for a little bit in our 20s, and we're still friends to this day. I just texted her this morning. So friendship's always important, no matter where you are in life and how you gain them.
No, that's awesome. And we paired friends with honesty because real friends, if you think about it, are honest. And trust and honesty go hand in hand. So you want to be able to trust your friends and trust them being honest with you. And that's extremely important in friendship, and obviously in all the other relationships that you have. And my story about friends, shout out to my good buddy Rashad. He lives in Boston right now with his family, and he's just a great guy. But thinking back, we went to the same grade school together, but we weren't necessarily really friends in grade school. But when we got to high school, we actually both wrestled on the wrestling team our freshman year, and through that, we actually became friends and been friends ever since. And so it's just a message to our students to do different things, play different sports, be in different clubs and activities, because of socialization, you never know who you'll make friends with out of that. And again, this is a friend that he makes me a better person. He's a friend that lifts me up, that makes me do good things, and not quite the opposite. So it's one where, again, playing golf all year round is awesome, but try different things and get in different groups and meet new people. And that way you can make new friends. And the more friends you have, the better.
There you go. Are we good to go, Bo? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, one thing, I mean, honesty is definitely a huge part of golf, and that translates into life more importantly. I kind of just think of maybe not so much a time that there's an instance of myself, but I know one of my competitors, a guy named Russell Henley, plays on PGA Tour, and we were at Mayakoba last fall down in Mexico, playing an event down there. And I know on, I think it was Friday, Russ played really well, and he was up there in contention. and maybe in the top 5, which is as a great start. That's what, if you can get there and set yourself up for a good weekend. And he finished his round, and he's 9 or 10 under through 2 rounds, and he's in the scoring area, and he's going to sign a golf ball for his scorer and standard bearer from the day. And it's funny, on the PGA Tour, like for instance, like Titleist Pro V1. I mean, there's the Pro V1 and there's the Pro V1X, and then there's a bunch of variations of them as well for really specific tailored needs to what some of the best players in the world need. And he noticed that when he signed his golf ball for the for that day, that he was playing a Pro V1X, but it was a variation of the Pro V1X, it's called the Dash Pro V1X. And under the PGA Tour's regulations, you can only play one type of ball for the entire round. And he noticed that somehow that Dash Pro V1X ball accidentally got tossed in his bag, whether it be on the putting green before the round or just inadvertently, somehow it did, and he played it during the competition. And he admitted it, said, "Hey, something's wrong here. I think I played the wrong ball." And he got issued, I think, a pretty severe, 5-6 shot penalty from that. Didn't get disqualified, but under the rule, he could still play the weekend, but he pretty severe penalty. And it would have been so easy for him to just say, just kind of look the other way. It's still a Titleist, it's still a Pro V1X. Nobody will know. Nobody would have known, if he wouldn't have said anything. No. And he hardly knew. You just look down and you see the Titleist and you see the number, and you just keep playing. And so he kind of notified the rules officials. They said, hey, we admire the honesty so much. At the time, it probably wasn't what he wanted to do. There's so many positions that he fell, and valuable FedEx Cup points and stuff, that he just knew that was the right thing to do. And I'm sure that I know we all respected that move he made there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a great story.
That's awesome. So with me and honesty, I have a story. And before that, I want everybody to understand my viewpoint on honesty. Sometimes honesty is really, really hard to do. It really is. It may put you in a compromising position, and it'll test you. It'll test to see if you really want to go through and be honest. Like Bo said with his friend on tour, it tested him, see if because he could have got away with it. So my story goes back to when I was young. Me and my 3 brothers, we like to wrestle around a lot, and it gets really intense. And in my front room was this huge like plexiglass window. I don't know why it was there, and it was very, very big. I remember that. So we're wrestling around, and I tossed my brother into the window, and it went out and it broke. It shattered. And at that very moment, I look at my dog and Dad, going to Sabbath, why'd you do that? Knowing that it was me. So my dad comes downstairs and he sees us, sees the broken window, it's raining outside. And I said, Dad, Sabbath was playing. He got wild and, he jumped into the window and knocked it over. And yeah, my dad was like, oh, okay, all right. So the dog got in trouble, but come to find out my brother's told on me. So, so I got spanking twice. One for breaking the window and 2 for lying. So if I would have been truthful about it, I would have only got that once. But instead, I got cracked twice. So please, 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 people, listen. Honesty sometimes is very, very tough. In all seriousness, it is. But that does not mean you abandon honesty because things get rough.
Don't blame your dog.
And don't blame your dog. Pets are awesome. All right. So from right there, we go to one of our very, very favorite parts of the game, parts of the podcast. It's become a fan favorite too. It's called There Can Only Be One. I would have the sound thing going on, but I can't find it right now, so we're good. It's called There Can Only Be One. So we'll ask the questions, and you have 3 answers, and you tell us which one of those you would choose. They have a time limit for how long you have to do what's one of those 3. So Natalie, when you are ready, There can only be one. Give us your question.
This might be more specific to us since we're older than some of these kids. I don't know if some of these channels are still relevant, but if you had to pick a channel to watch, there can only be one. Like, think of when you were younger, Saturday morning, wake up to watch cartoons or something. Cartoon Network, the Disney Channel, or Nickelodeon.
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney.
But not like, I mean, maybe Disney movies are on Disney Channel, but like this channel specifically, like you're not looking through Disney Plus today.
Man, there's some good cartoons on every last one of those platforms, man.
I know.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Cartoon Network. Only reason why, because it holds the best cartoon to ever be put out, and that's Tom and Jerry. Now, the reason why that is, the reason why Tom and Jerry is because Tom and Jerry did not have to use words to make you laugh. That's what makes it absolutely incredible. There was no talking, but it was absolutely hilarious.
That's a good argument.
I'm rocking with Cartoon Network.
All right.
That's a tough
Bo,
one.
go ahead.
You're dating me a little bit here, but I liked all three. But I'd probably go. I think I'd go Nickelodeon. They had some good little game shows on there. I think.
Double Dare.
Yeah, Figure It Out. That was a good. That was a good show.
Didn't you have Double Dare too, or something like that?
Double Dare.
And Legends of the Hidden Temple is my favorite.
I was gonna go there too.
Classic.
Wow, those
were good.
Yeah.
Those were
that's
quality.
a good argument, man. That could have swayed me.
Yeah, high quality programming for sure.
Yeah.
What you got?
That's mine, because I went from those shows watching with my older siblings right into the SpongeBob era, and SpongeBob. Man, I had 2 SpongeBob themed birthday parties growing up. I have to pick Nickelodeon.
Wow.
My family calls me Squid, so as in Squidward. So I love Nickelodeon.
That's a very tough question, Allie. I would have to say I would lean towards Cartoon Network, however. Just because the classics like Speed Racer. I remember I was a big fan of Muttley in that show for some reason. I don't know. They just had the classics, so I just remember watching the classics and the new age, like the Teen Titans and all that.
That's a hilarious cartoon, man.
It's pretty hilarious. But it's a tough one, though, because Nickelodeon did have Inspector Gadget and all those great other shows like the Double Dare. But I'll have to say the Cartoon Network.
So right now, all we have time for is one, and what's a good one to have. Very good argument. So we have to get ready to wrap this up. Natalie, do me a favor. What's going on with the first tee this week?
We are kicking off spring programming this week. So last night was the first night of our player level class. Well, not even at night, 3 o'clock afternoon. Today will be our par level. Corey, I don't remember the rest of the schedule for the week if you want to help me out.
Yeah, no problem. We have Birdie. On Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. All our registration classes at 3 o'clock. And then we have Target at 3 on Thursdays. Then coming up, another special guest next Thursday on Living the Nine. We have Greg McLaughlin coming on. He is the president of the World Golf Foundation and the CEO of the First Tee. So it'd be cool to have him on as well. And also, Bo, he is a hometown guy. He went to OSU as well. I didn't know if you knew that or not. If you did, I'm sorry. It's okay. All right.
Yes,
big
all
week
this programming is free, ladies and gentlemen. All this programming is free.
Yes, everything. Yeah. Everything is free.
All these webinars, everything. Check out again. Look at our website up in the top right corner, tftco.org. Top right corner, you'll see TFTCO at home. You will have all the links right there for everything that is free to you. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Anything at all, I will be there to help you, and I'll type it in the comment box if you need it.
Okay. Bo, man, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. You were a good sport. You had fun with us. You did the questions very, very well. Thank you so very much.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you, Bo.
Great way to pass the time, and
there
thanks
you go.
for everything you guys do for First Tee.
I appreciate it, man. And we're going to hold you that custard battle. Just to let you know.
Yeah,
We're going to get that custard battle in, man.
Best of luck to you, Bo.
Thanks,
best
guys.
of luck.
See you at Memorial.
And we'll be watching you, man.
Yeah. It'll be great. Yeah, Memorial for sure.
All right. Take care.
All right. See you guys.